It's time for Washington Shellfish Quest. This episode, Dungeness Crab, Part 2 of 3. Hey Washington Shellfish Questers, it's Blake.
And Russell.
Yeah, and this is Part 2 of the crabbing three-parter. This is catching them with snares. So we're here in historic Westport, Washington. This is our first time being here since, the before times. Here for two reasons. One, to visit our really good friends, the Marcells, who run the Westport aquarium. And they have three great new exhibits. They have this chitin exhibit that is chitins from around the world. They have sea urchins. And look at this. Just listen to how historic this is.
And these are urchins from all over the world. This one's from Sweden from 1867, so over 100 years old.
Yeah, and then they have a 39-foot gray whale skeleton that they've articulated. Now this project has been years in the making. Articulating a skeleton of that size is something that I think people don't understand maybe how hard it is. But it is quite an impressive feat, and especially for a small, local, private-run aquarium. Just swinging by to see our good friends and see all the great work they've done. And we're here to do Part 2 of the Shellfish Quest. I'm shooting the voice part in my truck because it's quite windy out. We're going to use snares for this episode. I'm going to cast them off of the fishing pier, Float 20. That's the big pier that separates the harbor from the marina. You've probably seen commercial versions of these snares. Shingo makes them out of chicken wire and weed whacker cable. So this is a homemade version. As you can see, I got three weights on the back there. I'm going to put some bait in there. I also got this underwater camera, so with any luck, we'll get some neat footage. Here it's slack tide, and I'm only going to do this for about an hour. And my goal is to just catch one crab, just to prove it can be done, basically. It's one of those type of deals. Some bummer news to start off the adventure. The crab snare cam did not make it, and it ruined the memory card too, so no footage there. However, I did drop a pot off of the dock just for kicks, to see how it would do versus casting the snare, and that did make it, so that's great. And we'll check in on that crab pots footage a couple times throughout the episode here.
Get away from it, and then a fishing pole will flying in the water, and then you'll never get back.
Alright, to get it out there, you simply wing it out as far as you can without flying off of the fishing pier itself.
Ooh, pow! I got the record!
Good job, bud. It's a lot funner, in my opinion, than just setting a pot, because you can actually see the line. And, I put it in a holder a lot of the time because I'm just having a good time, enjoying the day, breathing in that salt air. But it is even funner just to hold the pole, because it's just like fishing. You can feel it when they start tapping it. I caught several small ones, really small ones, babies really. So one thing I'd want to stress in this episode is if you're fishing off of a fishing pier like this or any high dock, if you throw a crab back, I think a lot of people think crabs are kind of invincible since they have their exoskeletons, they got their shell on the outside. However, you will likely kill that crab. I mean, straight up. Even a hard-shelled crab, you'll likely kill with the 20-foot drop down to the water. So I suggest bringing a bucket. If I was doing this even a little smarter, I would have some holes in the bucket so it would sink down into the water. Instead, it's almost like a fun game to see the bucket kind of fall on its side eventually and have the crab wander out.
Oh, he went out! He went out! Yay! He's free!
We ended up having a great time hanging out on the Fisherman's Pier. And heck, even out here you can see just all kinds of great wildlife. Now this rod I'm using here, I use for jigging up lings in like really rocky areas, this is a really stout rod. The reel is, a catfish reel. Jerk is so hard that you can hear it almost break here. Got a sizable one on.
Yay!
Felt the reel's having a hard time with it. Oh, I don't know if the reel's going.
Whoa!
All right, it has to be 6 inches. Let's see. Oh, he's a keeper. He's 6 1/4.
Yay!
All right, we did it.
We did it! We accomplished getting our 1 crab. That means that we can leave now.
But not leave Westport.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is how I'm filming. See, I'm filming you.
All right, Russell and I are back at the truck. We caught our 1 crab, snared our 1 crab, making our 1 crab snare goal. It took about an hour. You know, it was a good, fun, active way to do it. It's actually kind of funner than just dropping pots, actually picking up the rod and feeling it and jerking just like you were fishing. So we did a lot better than we did at the dock here. So I guess if you're coming to Westport and you really wanted to get some keeper crab, maybe try the snares. And you don't have to just go off the fishing pier. There is tons of finger jetties right in here, plenty of coastline. Great way to spend the day, and thanks so much. So this concludes part 2, crab snares. See you in part 3, snorkeling.